Another one, boy. What's going on here, boy?
Has
There we
completely
go.
destroyed the agricultural sector. And one of the few things that's left is local honey production. And they are planning to hand this over to the financiers on a platter, particularly one that sells bottled water. Take a look at this video, guys.
The government wants to open up the borders for transshipment and importation of honey.
Fines of up to 100,000 TT dollars are now being imposed in the new 2024 Beekeepers and Reproduct Act, in an attempt to discourage local beekeepers from producing honey so that they can open up the import markets in Trinidad and Tobago. It seems that any possible route that citizens of Trinidad and Tobago try to make a living, the government ensures that this is not possible. We are a country that imports 80% of our agricultural produce, and we already have a problem with forex in Trinidad and Tobago. If a war were to break out in the rest of the world, food security is going to be our #1 priority. But it seems that everything is being done to satisfy a handful of financiers. It's unfair that our country is being sold out to these people. If you would like to support local, please share this video, guys. The government of Trinidad and Tobago has completely destroyed the agricultural sector, and one of the few things that's left is local honey production.
Oi, what is this?
What is the future of beekeeping in Trinidad and Tobago? This is a review of the amendments to the Beekeeping and Bee Products Regulations 2023.
Let's see how these amendments will impact local beekeepers and the citizens of this country. The amendments now require beekeepers to establish their apiaries 200 meters from the nearest residence, office building, etc., and at least 50 meters from the nearest boundaries. Previously, there was a guideline of 100 meters. The distance of 200 meters is double what has been common practice for years. Many beekeepers will lose their apiaries and their livelihood. This will result in reduced local honey production. The amendments now include 4 offenses for which beekeepers will be fined: not installing bees in movable frames, managing an unregistered apiary, failure to report infection or suspected infection of pest and disease, importation of comb foundation without a license. A beekeeper who commits any of the above offenses is liable on summary conviction to a fine of $100,000. Why is the fine so high? The punishment for first offense of driving under the influence is $12,000 or 3 years imprisonment. Is failing to use movable frames a greater offense than drunk driving? The amendment stated that where a beekeeper fails to comply with an order, the court may order the inspector to have the hives destroyed in a manner consistent with international best practices. Why are the innocent bees being destroyed for regulations not met? Is this in keeping with international biodiversity conservation best practices? The apiary registration fee is now $600 every 3 years. There was no apiary registration fee previously. Why are beekeepers being made to pay for their contribution towards national biodiversity conservation, food security, and the realization of SDGs? On the other hand, the registration fee for importation and transshipment of honey is only $100. Why is this cost less than the apiary registration fee? Is the purpose to discourage beekeeping and encourage importation? How can a beekeeper be fined for a suspected infection of bee disease? Should this not be based on scientific data? The regulations do not provide guidance on where and how honey can and should be tested. The amendments lists 14 neighboring CARICOM countries from which Trinidad and Tobago can import honey. However, the USA is not included. Trinidad is currently importing more than 50,000 kilograms per year of honey from the USA. Also, what are the regulations if the country that honey is being imported from receives honey from countries that are not listed? How do you prevent transshipment of honey from unaccepted countries to Trinidad? A consignment of honey imported into Trinidad and Tobago must be accompanied by an export health certificate which is issued without any testing of the honey, which could contain bee diseases, pesticides, heavy metals, or other harmful pathogens. An export health certificate does not prove that the honey is safe or unadulterated. These regulations will discourage local beekeepers from beekeeping. This will reduce livelihood opportunities, reduce resilience, and increase vulnerabilities in rural communities. This will also have detrimental impacts on food production, since bees pollinate 80% of food crops. Local consumers will have to be very careful, because without a stringent testing regime, there is no guarantee that what will be imported is real or safe to consume. Honey's value as a superfood will be lost, since the imported honey will not carry the antibiotic, anti-inflammatory, and antihistamine characteristics of local honey. These are just a few of the concerns with respect to the proposed amendments. What is needed is a comprehensive review of the Beekeeping Act and its regulations. If Trinidad and Tobago wishes to continue to enjoy safe, healthy honey, then these amendments must be changed to support beekeepers, not honey importers. Please help us stop these amendments from becoming law by liking and sharing our video.
So after I received this comment on one of my videos, I did the research, right? So I went to the beekeepers and I asked, in case anybody was adept to the law. And this guy is 100% correct. This guy commenting here. It's a $15,000 charge and up to 8 years imprisonment for having an illegal firearm. Mind you, an illegal firearm that kills people. Robbing, killing, stealing. If you have a firearm that can do all these things, murder people, kill, I don't need to say it again. If you have an illegal firearm that does all these things, it's a $15,000 charge and 8 years in prison, right? If you are a beekeeper and you have an unregistered apiary, it's a $100,000 charge. If you have a beehive in its most natural state, it's a $100,000 charge. Say for the 8 years in prison, but what are you trying to say? We will stand the gunmen and them that killing people? Are you sure?
In no particular order, let's get the dragon roaring with
could find where the gangs are and who is the gang and the police can buy it.
Dragon fruit progression. We start from here. Right?
That's a fake dragon fruit.
And we reach into this one.
Oh, that is evolution of
Yes,
dragon
of
fruit.
dragon fruit. You have to start with a noni first, right? And you'll end up with a dragon fruit. See how big this is? Watch my hand. Yeah, man. Right here at first house dragons.